Good evening. Welcome to our Gifted and Talented Education Information event. We're so happy that you came to join us tonight. As we wait on others to join us, feel free to add your name and where your child or children attend school to the chat. We'll give everybody just one more minute to come on and join us. Once again, thank you for joining us. Tonight, we will discuss how the Gifted and Talented Education Program aligns to MNPS core tenets. We'll give an overview of the Department of College and Career Readiness and the Office of Gifted and Talented Education. As you can see by our agenda, we'll go over all these things, and last, we will give you an opportunity to ask questions. This is a visual of MNPS core tenets, signature initiatives, and focus outcomes. So I'm going to give you a little overview of how the work in the Office of Gifted and Talented Education aligns with these various signature initiatives of MNPS. First of all, the Office of Gifted and Talented Education aligns the work to the core tenets. We diligently work to ensure that we are supporting students, teachers, and school leaders. We have a goal to create and deliver high-level, engaging curriculum that is differentiated to meet the needs of the unique academic, the needs of gifted and talented learners. Our curriculum includes our focus outcomes of addressing numeracy, let me back up one, numeracy and literacy. We have implemented systems and protocols to ensure that we identify and eliminate inequities in how we identify students and how students receive services, qualify to receive services, as well as how we deliver services in our school. Along with this, we strive to meet the unique SEL needs of our gifted and talented learners. Last, we work with the offices in the Department of College and Career Readiness to ensure that our students have successful transitions from tier to tier, grade to grade, and school to school. I'd like to introduce our presenters. So excited to have them here with us tonight. We have Miss Allison Argo. She is the GATE teacher at Thomas Edison. And then we have, I don't think they can see you. We have Dr. Andrea Herlong. She is the facilitator of the Office of Gifted and Talented Education. Miss Kiana Noggles. She is our GATE teacher at Glenview Elementary School. And then we have Miss Sabrina Hughes Tate. She is our middle school GATE teacher at McKissick and Antioch Middle School. And then I am Dr. Gina Smallwood. I am the coordinator for the Office of Gifted and Talented Education.
Good evening. In the Division of Teaching and Learning, our Gifted and Talented program is under the Department of College and Career Readiness, and it's led by Dr. Matt Nelson. Our office collaborates with these other offices under the umbrella of College and Career Readiness to ensure successful transitions from year to year and from tier to tier for all of our students. Dr. Gina Smallwood leads our office as the coordinator. I am the facilitator for the Office of Gifted and Talented. Dr. Kwame Inti is the Office of Gifted and Talented Data Analyst, and we have 72 GATE teachers who dually report to their schools and to the GATE office. And here is a picture of our amazing GATE team.
So now I'll give you an overview of the Office of Gifted and Talented Education. Metro Nashville schools strive to ensure appropriate services are delivered to all of our students. This includes students who are academically gifted and talented. Academically gifted and talented students perform or have the ability to perform at higher academic levels than their grade or age peers. The Office of Gifted and Talented works with along with GATE teachers, parents, and other district stakeholders to ensure academically gifted and talented students are given opportunities to participate in classes that are designed to encourage academic achievement and growth.
Qualifying for gifted and talented services. Students are considered for testing for GATE services using both qualitative and quantitative data. Qualifying for GATE services is determined using a multiple measures matrix. District-wide testing consideration and administration takes place in the spring semester of each school year for grades K through 7. GATE student identification. Testing and identification are managed by the Office of Gifted and Talented Education, and a student identified for GATE services will remain eligible for services through 8th grade. The benefits of GATE participation. Students participate in differentiated learning opportunities to meet the unique academic needs of gifted and talented learners. Students are given opportunities to refine and grow their academic strengths while also being challenged in new areas. Our GATE classes are designed to encourage students to be prepared when they face academic challenges. Students are provided with increased opportunities to focus on skills such as creative problem solving and critical thinking. Our GATE classes are designed to focus on the unique affective and social emotional needs of academically gifted and talented learners.
Each of our GATE teachers attend special training at Vanderbilt University in order to earn the Tennessee Gifted Employment Standard. Through the Gifted Employment Standard training, each of our teachers learn best practices in the identification of gifted and talented students. In addition, through the Employment Standard training, teachers will learn research-based strategies and how to implement differentiated curriculum in order to support gifted and talented learners. GATE teachers also meet throughout the year to collaborate with one another and participate in professional learning opportunities. And finally, our new GATE teachers are assigned an experienced mentor to help them as they begin their journey as a gifted teacher.
Good evening. Looking at our GATE classes and curriculum, our scholars participate in weekly classes geared towards their gifts and talents. All of our curriculum are hands-on and interactive, focused on developing the scholars' critical and creative thinking. A great benefit of GATE instruction is that it is interdisciplinary and aligned to Tennessee State standards per grade level. So now we're going to look at the curriculums that we are utilizing for grades kindergarten through 8th.
So our kindergarten GATE students have access to curriculum that incorporates the taxonomy of Benjamin Bloom. Lessons are designed to include opportunities to analyze, evaluate, and to create. And we see this when we teach our students in kindergarten the thought process needed to complete logic puzzles, do activities that require them to evaluate situations, and when we give them opportunities to create a new invention. Our first through second grade students have a variety of units which address multiple subject areas and build cognitive skills. These are some of the examples of the thematic units that we taught this year. Each year, the GATE department reviews the curriculum, so the units are subject to change from year to year. An example of one of the units that we did this year was the under construction unit. It allowed students to investigate materials, tools, design, size, and scale by constructing for themselves and for characters from literature. In these pictures, you see some of our students who are actively engaged in learning.
Our third and fourth grade students also have opportunities to interact with a variety of curriculum units that address multiple subject areas and the application of critical thinking skills. One of those is our Interactions and Ecology unit. Through this unit, students get to examine relationships among living things in the environment, as well as relationships between literary elements in texts through accelerated content, engaging activities, and differentiated tasks. A second curriculum unit that may be used for third and fourth grade is our Building Big unit, which studies the architecture of bridges, domes, tunnels, dams, and skyscrapers. And students may also participate in the Spatial Reasoning unit, which is a math unit for high ability learners that provides them with opportunities to interact with one-dimensional, two-dimensional, and three-dimensional tasks. Again, as Kiana stated in the first and second grade curriculum units, these are subject to change throughout the year. And here's some examples of our students interacting with the Building Big unit in the construction of some different projects and interaction with the activities that you see here.
And for our middle school curriculum, there are several curriculums that we use throughout middle school. Middle school looks at what the scholar will learn throughout their middle school career and align the curriculum accordingly. They are listed by grade level as well. So the first one is Space Story and Structure, where scholars explore advanced science and ELA through the lens of structure, its parts, and the function. They examine space in detail, including black holes and Einstein's relativity. The next one is Urban Art. This is where scholars explore artistic expression throughout that impacted history and today. The next one is The Human Spark. This is where scholars examine the nature of human uniqueness and learn all the intricate details about the brain. They also explore what exactly is human intelligence and how our brain is designed. I will come back to look at forensic science for a minute. The next one is Finding Freedom. This is where scholars explore the nature of freedom. What exactly is freedom? The scholars follow America's journey towards finding freedom and examining multiple perspectives, the conflicts, ideas, and challenges throughout historical texts. An additional one is In the Mind's Eye. This is where our scholars look at truth and perception. They dive deep into thinking about what exactly is truth. And is truth your perception or vice versa? The scholars truly engage in this deep thinking process. And another one is Utopia. This is where we look at utopian society while also looking at dystopian society. The last one I'm going to address is forensic science, which most of the middle schools are learning currently. Scholars explore a variety of mysteries and forensic topics. Scholars collaborate and apply investigative techniques. They look at mock crime scenes and mysteries, and we can see in this picture that our scholars are getting a hands-on experience with those in the field. One is a lieutenant in Tennessee, and another one is the school's SRO. Scholars also explore the different careers within forensics, which there are plenty, and they dive deep into understanding other topics such as blood typing, anthropology, as well as hair analysis. Our curriculums are very hands-on and develop the scholars' gifts and talents. And once again, as well as with elementary and middle school, we look at our curriculum every year.
We have other wonderful extracurricular opportunities for our GATE students, such as Science Olympiad MTSU Invention Convention, TSU STEM Gate Day, Program for Talented Youth in partnership with Vanderbilt, School for Science and Math at Vanderbilt, Day of Discovery at Vanderbilt, our GATE Spelling Bee, and our GATE Quiz Bowl. If you need to contact, or if you have a question and you need to contact your teacher, contact the GATE teacher at your zone school, or you can also contact Dr. Gina Smallwood or myself, Dr. Andrea Herlong, and our email addresses are listed on the screen.
So we also, in addition to our presenters tonight, want to take a minute to thank our behind the scenes team, important people in our Department of College and Career Readiness, and that's Dr. Matt Nelson. He's our Executive Director. Dr. Mary Cook, she's our ACT coordinator and one of the producers tonight. Also, a producer tonight, Mr. Kevin Edwards, he's our Ready Graduate Coordinator, and then Miss Emily Munn, and she's all things advanced academics, avid guru. We rely on her for that. So thank you to these people for helping produce this show tonight. And now we can move into any questions that you might have, and I think our producers will give us those questions.
First question, what is something from the elementary school GATE teachers that you have enjoyed teaching this year? What's been your favorite unit?
So let's start with Miss Argo, and then we'll let her answer, and then we'll go to Miss Noggles.
Hi, the interactions with ecology unit is by far one of my favorite units. It really encompasses everything. I personally love nature and anything to do with animals and being outdoors. So that's a favorite for me, but also I like how the unit incorporates science, social studies. It incorporates real world issues and bring those in for the students to explore. So you really get a lot of bang for your buck with that unit because different kids have different talents. You know, some may excel in math, some may excel in reading, and they have different interests. So when you have a unit that's so comprehensive like this, you can really hit everyone's favorite subject areas and get a lot of bang for your buck that way.
Ms. Noggles, do you want to answer now your favorite unit?
Sure. Well, I just want to piggyback on what Allison said because I enjoy that unit also, but in an extension to it, we in second grade went ahead and read the chapter book that goes along with it, the one and only Ivan. And it's a 300-page book, and the students really persevered and went through the book, and we read it and they enjoyed it to the point to where they went to the library and found the sequel and came up to me saying, I found the sequel to the book. So they were really excited about that. So we really did enjoy that unit.
Beautiful. Thank you, friends. What about middle school? What's been something that the students have really enjoyed about a middle school unit? Or was that of the middle school unit just now?
Now we'll go ahead and let Ms. Hughes answer that.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So currently, our scholars are seriously enjoying forensic science. That was one of the school in the pictures. They love the hands-on. We utilize everything from that's synthetic and we do like blood analysis, fingerprinting, learning about bones. It is such an engaging curriculum. The scholars also read Just Mercy, and we talk so much about their careers at this point in time. So they are looking at everything forensics, from being a simple police, not simple, but a police officer to a forensics examiner who looks at everything from bugs to dirt, including light. And so they get a variety of items in there because we look at TED Talks, we do seminars. So it's just a highly engaged curriculum that the scholars are loving. And when the scholars love it, I love it as well.
Beautiful. That sounds like a great example of college and career readiness. Thank you. I have a question here. It looks like a good one. When does testing take place?
So let's let Ms. Argo take that question as well.
Our testing is actually coming up at the end of this month. We look to begin on March 28th, and we hope to be complete with testing for all students by April 14th. Thank you. Another question that's popped up just now. This is a good one. Will my child receive grades for work in GATE classes?
I think that's a great question for Ms. Noggles. So we'll go ahead and let you answer that question.
Yeah, in GATE, we do not give or take grades in our class. We allow our students to explore and give their thoughts and ideas without feeling like it's going to be graded. We do, however, use criteria to evaluate our students' learning, and we provide them feedback on activities that we require them to complete. And also along those lines, we don't assign homework as to not to interfere with their classroom requirements.
Oh, lovely. So lots of academic risk takings in a safe environment. Thank you. Next question. Is my child required to attend the program?
I'll answer that. No, your child is not required to attend. It is highly recommended that your child does attend class. However, we do understand that sometimes a student may need to opt out for various reasons. And so we encourage you to reach out to your GATE teacher and discuss those options prior to opting out. And if you do decide to opt out, we'll ask you to complete a form and your child can return at a later date.
Oh, thank you for that empathetic gesture for our children. We appreciate that. How can, this is a good question, y'all. How can I prepare my child for the GATE test?
So we're going to let Dr. Herlong take that question. She gets asked this question a lot in a day, so she's an expert on this.
Oh, I am so happy to answer that question. It is such a good one. So the best thing you can do to help your child is to not be anxious yourself. Sometimes our children pick up on our feelings of nervousness or anxiety, and so we just want them to not be nervous about it, to not have any anxiety about it. What I like to recommend is to read as much as you can to your child, or if your child is a good reader, have your child read really good books. Experiencing new vocabulary and higher level vocabulary is so good for the students. It just opens them up to so many new words and thoughts, and so that's a wonderful thing to do. Also, puzzles, and you may think that puzzles are just something so easy, but really any kind of puzzles to work really helps with spatial reasoning, with critical thinking, with problem solving. Puzzles can be so much fun and so good for our brains. Along that line, I also recommend building, using blocks or Legos or Connects. So much fun, and also helps with spatial reasoning and critical thinking. Also problem solving and creativity, and that is so important. And so getting them to problem solve and just think critically in their everyday lives is so important, and just to have fun with their learning.
Thank you so much. Building and having fun is a super important part of getting your kids engaged in this. Another question, a little bit about testing here. Can my child test again next year if they don't qualify this year?
Let's let Ms. Argo take this question.
Yes, they absolutely can. So the way that we've created this process through which students are recommended means that each year we're going to look at their data and we're going to consider that as part of that testing recommendation, as well as teacher input. So each year teachers have the option to recommend students based off of both the quantitative and qualitative data. So that means that if your child has been recommended before and they did not qualify, that there are still opportunities for them in the future. Thank you. Oh, this has come up a couple of times, y'all. How is GATE different from Encore or YSN?
So let me go ahead and take that question. So we have gone through a rebranding, and in the past we had services called Encore, which that did not stand for anything. It's not a acronym for anything. It was just the name. And then we had YSN, which was Young Scholars of Nashville. And so Encore was students who actually came in and took the test and qualified, and then Young Scholars of Nashville was a talent development where we looked at bright students in every building who may not have qualified, but we felt like we could offer services. And so we had those two opportunities. So as we started thinking, and as we've gotten better at recommending and qualifying students in our service delivery, we said, hey, we just want to have one program called GATE, Gifted and Talented Education. That's an internationally recognized term for gifted and talented programs. And we want to serve all of those students in the same classroom, and we want to differentiate our instruction within that classroom. So now what we're doing is we're testing for, we're testing students who come into YSN. They're no longer testing for YSN, they're testing for GATE, and they're no longer testing for Encore, they're testing for GATE. So we just have this one umbrella of GATE, but we will offer services to students based on what they need in their school and what the school looks like, and we'll no longer have two classes that look segregated or look like students are getting two different things. Great teachers know how to differentiate their instruction for students in their classroom, and all of our teachers are great teachers, and so that's one of our service delivery option changes. So we, as we move into 2000, our teachers this year have done a great job of rebranding and saying GATE. We've changed our letterheads, we've changed our office label, we're using the word GATE. We're so excited about it, and next year we will be a full-blown GATE program, and we will no longer use the terms Encore and YSN. But the great thing is students are still being served, more students than ever. We're always looking for more ways to serve students. If a teacher has 2 extra hours in the building, they're calling us and saying, what else can I do? What else can I do? So we're always looking for ways to challenge students, and every school has unique needs, and we work within those schools' unique needs to discover students who have academic talent and to cultivate that talent.
Thanks so much, Gina. Super helpful. This may be our last question, and so I'm going to end this with this one. It's come up a couple of times. How can my child score the highest on MAP or have straight A's and have not qualified for GATE services?
Okay, let me go ahead and take that question as well, Emily. So that's a great question, and I know that can be very confusing to parents. As Dr. Herlong mentioned earlier, I believe it was Dr. Herlong, she said we use a multiple matrix to determine qualifying for gifted. And also, backing up a little bit, we use a tool where teachers, I think Ms. Arco mentioned this, where teachers can recommend students for consideration for testing using qualitative and quantitative data. So we take all of that into consideration. Our multiple matrix, we look at our aptitude test that we give. We look at district benchmarks. We look at the quantitative data. We look at the qualitative data, and we have a matrix that determines that. And sometimes there could be multiple reasons. Maybe it's just the student is. I just want to say we just can't really look at one test and determine. But what I will say is if your child tests and you're confused about why they did not qualify, the best thing you can do is email Dr. Herlong or myself or GATE questions at MNPS.org and ask us, and we are always happy to go over your child's data and tell you what happened there, and also make specific recommendations to you about things that you can do. So we are always happy to to talk about that. It's very complex, but it is a multiple matrix, and so again, we're always happy. We want to hear from parents, and usually when we sit down and talk to parents, it's very eye-opening. And then, as we said earlier, sometimes then the student goes on. Maybe they had test anxiety this year, and they go on to test next year, and they qualify. And so definitely, if you have specific questions about your child, reach out to our office, after we get the test results back.
Gina,
Thanks so
I'm going to
much,
suggest.
Gina.
Oh, sorry, Emily. Gina, I'm going to suggest going back to the slides and going back to that contact slide where your email address and Andrea's email address is posted, so then parents can copy that down.
Let's see.
Thanks for joining us, friends. We've put the GATE questions at mnps.org, as well as while Dr. Smallwood is putting that contact information up, it's in the chat. Thank you so much for your valuable questions. And if we did not have the moment to answer it, we do want to answer it in the next few days. So reach out to us so that our team can support you the best we know how, or to make the connections that you need to find the support and guidance. Thanks everybody for joining us. Dr. Smallwood, if you want to wish them well on our way out the door this evening.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. We're so glad you came. Thank you to our producers. Thank you to my wonderful team of presenters. We could not have done this without you. I hope everyone has a great evening, and we look forward to working with all of your children for the rest of this year and into upcoming years. Thank you.